Hi YouTubers and everybody else watching. This is Nick. I'm going to record a tournament. This is a $10 sit and go. I don't purport to be any sort of expert, except I've played my fair share of these. I like six-handed because it's going to make a reasonably quick video. Of course we can't start until everybody signs in. So this is obviously an easy fold, especially to a pre-flop raise. If I go kind of quiet every once in a while, I apologize. Just sometimes there isn't a lot to add. You know, especially when you get 8 deuce offsuit and have to fold it pre-flop. Nice. All right. First position caller is a little bit scary, but let's see what happens if we try and raise here. I know some of you are cringing. It's a little early to be playing like that, but at least we bought the button. And having betted, of course, now we can make a continuation bet, especially when people made such tiny bets pre-flop. Of course, he could... well, that was nice. So the ace scared him, so let's make us a little bit of a trap bet. Hopefully he'll call. Couldn't be there. Pocket eights. Very nice. We'll certainly be raising that. See if we get any action. To be truthful, I don't really want action with this hand. The only action I'm probably going to get is a big ace, or a hand that beats me. Oh, nice. Well, so there's two theories here. You can either bet the flops you hit or not. Oh, I hope that ace hit him. I so hope that ace hit him. But you know, there's a potential flush out there, so I can't give a free card. In fact, two of them with spades or clubs. And we're going to punch it. Gotcha. Call. Come on. Oh, didn't want to do it. Oh, King Jack. A good hand and a not so good hand. We're in first position, so we're going to fold that one. And that's just as well. So many hands can beat King Jack if it misses, obviously. Any ace. So, you know, if we'd have gotten the button, we could have raised with that and tried to steal the blinds, maybe. But, no. When you get a crappy hand in the big blind, I mean, obviously you check it, and then the trouble is we're going to play it out of position. I still like making a bet here because we've hit, because we don't want to... We want to see if anybody can beat that. Well, obviously he can. The nice thing about making a bet like this with a marginal hand like that, like second pair, is that you can get away from it in a hurry. So... Now this isn't going to cost us very much, and there's $135 in the pot, so it's a little surprising to call with deuce 4 offsuit, but I'm going to actually call with this. Because it hits big every once in a while. Like that. Now for $15 in a $100+ pot, I had very good odds to make that call. And now we've got a really good hand. Well, you know, the minimum raise is a tell for a strong hand. But look at him. He's got 475 left. I'm going to punch it. If he's got ace-5, then so be it. But I don't think he does. And by waiting before I called, it makes me look weak. So there you go. Pre-flop raise. I was going to try and steal with that, but the pre-flop raise, especially from first position, will let that go. Oh, well. You know, you can't play results poker. What do you have, Jack 8? So I would have had first and second pair again, but you know, you can't. It was one thing to call the 15 for the small blind, quite another to call a $60 raise, even on the button. So, oh, even worse. Oh well. There's always a better spot. Always a better spot. Nice hand. Deuce 10, easy fold. Going back to the hand with fours and twos, with the guy with pocket jacks, you'll notice if you recall, he made a minimum raise. He had an overpair, so he was in a very good position in that hand. At least if I'm not misremembering it, I might be. But yeah, the minimum raise, I learned this from my mentor, Crispin. The minimum raise is definitely an online tell for a monster hand. It's about the only tell there is, really. I used to think that there was a tell related with the speed in which somebody acted, that maybe you made them think a long time, but typically, you know, you play in the situation that you're in, and you know, maybe the guy's got a slow connection, and that's all it is. All right, we'll try and steal with this. Good hand or bad, I make the same 3 times raise. If we had antes, it would be a 5 times raise. But with no antes, it's a 3x raise. So 3 times the big blind, unless there's, well, I should modify that. If I'm out of position and there's already people who have called, then you add that in as well. So for every caller, it's 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7 times. So this is interesting. We're going to check this, but notice the flop has a pair in it. So there's a pair and a singleton in the flop. Those usually hit nobody, which means that we can represent having a huge hand by raising here. And we're going to do a 3x raise of the bet to pretend that we have a 6. And they run away screaming. If one of them had a 6, they would have at least called, and I could have shut down. We got an all-in from a short stack with ace-jack. We'll certainly be calling that. Unless one of these other guys gets out of line. But probably not. And if he's got a bigger ace, then so be it. He can only do so much damage to me because he's only got 780 in chips. Nope. Oh, nice catch. Oh, better catch. Sometimes you get lucky. Easy fold. 7-3. Even suited, it's an easy fold. Even on the button, suited, that's an easy fold. And if we get another diamond here, how happy would I have been with that flush? Yes, I could get a diamond on the turn. I'd have a 7 high flush. Don't let the 10 fool you. We're sharing that with everybody else. And then if another diamond came on the river, then the highest diamond would have won the pot. So I wouldn't have been very happy in that spot. Yeah, so my 3s were probably no good in this spot. I'm sure we're going to see at least a 10 here, if not a jack. Perhaps even a straight, but I doubt it. Well, we saw a bluff and a 9. Wow. Oh, 2 pair. All right. That's a little better. A little more respectable. Ace deuce. You know, in first position, that's a fold. Even 5-handed. 4-handed, excuse me. Notice that we're now down to 4-handed. This tournament is going to pay the top 2. So we still got to get rid of 2 more people. So now at this point, the way the game changes a little bit is you start looking at who's the short stack, right? So the guy in the upper left-hand corner who's still in, he has about half my chip stack. The other ones have about a quarter of my chip stack. Those are the 2 guys that I want to play. Those are the 2 guys I want to be in hands with, not the other guy who can hurt me harder, right? Oh, 4's full. Okay. So now I really want to play with the guy with 720, because I can take him out. But we're going to do a pot size raise with ace-queen. That should at least isolate to 1. And, okay. I don't mind taking down a small pot pre-flop. 3-6 suited. Well, I'm going to fold that and we'll talk about that a little bit more. I don't mind taking down a small pot pre-flop because the flop can change everything. Right? That was an ace-queen. It was offsuit, I think. You know, if the flop had come, you know, what? 7, 8, 9. You know, I wouldn't have been very happy to try and continuation bet there. So I'm always content to play small ball. I'm always happy to take flops down, take hands down before the flop. That's fine. I don't slow play very often because you can trap yourself. You may think you're trapping the other guy. Oh, what do we got going on here? We got a 10? Sure enough. Okay. No surprise. So let's look at the table again. Now we've got 4-6. Yeah, that's old. We got one guy who's really short. The guy immediately to my left has 730 in chips. So he's got a gigantic target on his back. The other 2 are pretty short relative to me as well, but you know, I don't really want to try and play with them if I can help it. Not even so much because they're going to hurt me, although they will, is that that'll chip them up, right, and give them more ammunition if I'm fortunate enough to manage to go heads up with them, right? Always nice to get a walk. Now, Queen 10. I won my very first brick and mortar tournament with Queen 10, so I'm always usually inclined to treat it like aces. I don't think this guy's going to call. Well, doesn't matter. I have aces. I just made a set of aces. I'm going to represent. Huh. Well, see, now I'm priced in. I probably should have taken notice of how big his stack was. So now I'm priced in with second pair. So I'm going to look like an idiot. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, okay. I can't argue with that outcome. You know, if he'd had a bigger stack, he could have pushed me away from that hand, but it was only 240 to call with a pot that had much more than that in it. If he'd had an ace, fine. But that's what I mean about wanting to play with the short stacks. Right? The most he could have done is double through me to 1,200 or so. 1,400 maybe. And it turns out he didn't. Now I'm going to raise with this, because now we're deep in. Now it's the pot. The blinds are getting big enough that it is worth stealing them. And now look, I've got the small blind to call. I can make a continuation bet in position here that he's unable to call unless he flops something huge. Now I'm going to bluff all in. Please don't call. Please don't call. Yeah. Even if he had a 10 there, I don't think he could have called that for his entire tournament life. Okay, 5 deuce. All right. Now, if he goes all in here, yeah, no, I don't think I can call with bottom pair. It's worth a try. 7-10. Well, again, everybody's called, so I've got enough odds that I can call here. You know, and now I can represent the ace. You know, if I get raised, I can throw it away, but if not... See, now he just called. So I'm going to represent the flush. Make a big bet here. And if he raises me, then I can get away from this hand. Oh dear. Alright. Let's double him up, I guess. Oh my! Wow. Okay. Now we've got two incredibly short stacks. So now if everything goes according to plan, I'm very likely going to be playing up against the guy in the upper left-hand corner. Heads up for the prize. We just have to, you know, let the short stacks duke it out. So it may look like I'm kind of a dork having bluffed some of those hands. I can see how it might look that way, and it might look like I got lucky that he folded there, but, you know, I was representing the hands that made sense in those cases. At least I feel I was. And, you know, the pitfalls of representing a hand is that you could be representing a hand that your opponent actually has, in which case he won't be fooled, and he'll call you and you'll lose. But the beauty about making those sorts of plays against people who are short stacks is that even if that happens, it doesn't cost you very much. And you can push them all in, and they'll be playing for their entire tournament life against something that they may very well think is a real hand. And they'll fold. Well, so 9-3 offsuit, I don't know what I'm going to do here. This is a check fold. He can just have it. It's not enough money to even worth bothering with. And I don't want to double him up. So he can just have that hand. Now, if this is folded, well, okay. If it was folded around, I was going to push him all in with it, but now I just have to raise because I've got the other guy in there. Now look, the other guy, by the way, is getting kind of short too. He only has 1,300 chips. This is a call, for sure. The only question is if we're going to have two people beating this guy up or one. Interesting. Now, I'm not going to bluff into a dry side pot. I'm going to try and catch the flush. Bluffing into a dry side pot is bad. Dick. Well, I didn't catch my diamond, so the heck with it. But I'm content with that. We've gotten closer to heads up. If I'd have bluffed, I could have pushed him out of the pot and maybe lost the hand. So I'm just as happy to lose the side pot rather than try and bluff into it and then potentially lose the main pot. Now we flop top pair in one of those situations again where the board has a pair, which means it's very likely that he missed, so I can just take it away. Even if I hadn't caught there, I would have done it. Oh, very nice. So we'll raise here. You'll notice I'm raising a little bit more than... I'm just hitting the pot button because it's just more convenient. Top pair. That little tiny bet will be insufficient. Thank you. Again, like I've said before, I'm content to play small ball, especially against the big stack. Raise here or not? No, let's see the flop first. Yeah. I don't like that very much. I'm going to check. I could try and steal that, but I've done that a lot. Alright. I'm going to pretend I have the 7. If I get a raise here, it's for sure that somebody has a 3. But no. 10-8. Whoa! Goodbye. Call him. Nope. Alright. King Jack. 3-handed, that's good. I'll call an all-in from that guy, from the short stack. Not from the guy that's opposite me, though. Here, all of his decisions now, from now on, are just all-in or fold. He's short enough that he should be pushing all-in with any two cards at this point. It makes no sense for him to keep doing that. So if we find out, if we're in a situation like that again, it's all in or fold. Caught nothing. I don't really want to play against this guy. Just, I can't believe he hasn't bet already. Yeah, whatever. Happy to concede that pot. Lose little tiny pots, that's fine. Ace 4. Raise? I'll let it go. I'm a big wimp, I know. But again, I'm just as happy to let these two guys duke it out for his $600 stack. That's just fine with me. It's always nice to get a walk. I steal. Uh-huh. I run away. If it was the guy with if it was the short stack, I would have jumped in with that. But like I said, the other guy can hurt me. He's got half my stack. So he could have had a bigger ace, in which case I would have been completely crushed. I'd just as soon preserve my stack for the heads-up battle. Now I could push here, but I just as soon see a flop. Yeah, you're done. Bye-bye. I have the nut flush draw, and a bottom pair, obviously. If he had a pre-flop raise, I would have expected him to have either a big ace or a pocket pair. But, the table is really tightening up now. No one wants to go out on the bubble, which I can't blame them for. This happens a lot. When you get down to the bubble, everybody tightens up. You get a lot of opportunities to steal that way, but at the same time, you don't want to be the one that winds up going out on the bubble either. Queen 9. The guy on the button called. The guy in the upper left, so I'm just gonna let him do the dirty work. Queen 9 is not good enough for that. I don't want to triple this guy up. Well, and he didn't do it, which is a surprise. Oh, forget it. I can very easily give away 30 chips at a time for a crappy hand like that. Come on. I think you could have pushed in and represented in that spot, perhaps. But again, at the same time, you don't want to double the guy up. Check. Alright. I'll steal this one. You got a 6? No, you don't. 7-10. Bluff. Steal. Bye-bye. Bleh. 2 king is, I don't like hands that are separated like that. A big face card and a little tiny card. What do you expect to get with that hand? What are you going to get? You're expecting to get the king deuce flop? I mean, it happens, but you're going to get a top pair with a crappy kicker or a bottom pair with a great kicker. Nice. Heads up. Okay, now the starting hand, well, obviously you can raise any time with ace-king, but the starting hands now get much looser heads up. You got much better shot. I will check. I will bet. He didn't raise before the flop. He doesn't have an ace. I've got a 10. You're done. Bye-bye. If he was soft playing his ace, then he's a better man than I am. Always like to bluff with Queen 10. Oh, straight draw. Now, if he goes all in here, I can get away from it. What you gonna do when they come for you? Come on. What's up? Notice what happened there. He timed out, which means that any bet automatically folds him. That's an online trick that you can use. If you bet quickly after the guy times out, he will auto-fold. Nice. I flopped nothing. Uh-oh. Alright. I get away from it. He might have a better flush draw than the 10. And that's fine. Notice that the distinction here is that since he's behind and I'm ahead, any hand where there's an all-in is putting his life at risk. He's at risk and I'm not. Now, if I double him up, then it's the opposite. But at any time, it's like when you're playing tennis. And, you know, the later stages in tennis, you have the advantage scoring, advantage McEnroe, and so on. This is advantage Nick. Bluff. No, he couldn't take it. So as long as I stay ahead, then winning pots is great, you know, fine and dandy. But I always, at any point, I have the opportunity to put him all in and end it. Semi-bluff. Notice that this is actually, well, never mind. It was a backdoor straight flush draw. It was a flush draw, but it was also a backdoor straight draw. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Again, two widely separated cards, not a good hand. 5-3 is actually a better hand, I think, than Jack-3 because you can make straights with it. I mean, yes, they're unlikely. I understand that. But, you know, the potential is better. Wow, he's tightening up in a big way. You notice I'm raising pretty much with any ace, any king, high queens. I'll call with a non-suited connector even. Nice! Please have a king. Please have a king. Please have a king. You're done. Call. Call. No. Blah. Run away from that hand. Nice. I put them all in. No, I'll just raise the standard raise. He's getting close to the point where all of his decisions are going to be all in or fold. I'm going to bluff at this with a continuation bet. These continuation bets work because if you get 3 cards on the table that are not the same rank, you or your opponent have about a 30% chance of hitting them. So if you hit, there's only a 1 in 3 chance that, well, wait a minute, 3 to 1? 30%, 2 to 1. Okay, so 1 in 3 or a 2 to 1 chance that your opponent has completely missed. So betting the flop when you've got a single opponent usually works whether you hit it or not. And if he calls, then he probably did hit something. Oh, grumble. That's a crappy hand, but I'll see a flop with it. And keeping with my theory, if I called, it makes me look like I might have had it. Well, okay, I can run away from that. Might have looked like I had a 10 or something. He might have had a king. Well, he raised. He probably had a king. Oh, whatever. No. I don't know why I called with this. I was busy talking to you folks. That was a dumb call. Ah. Dang, somebody kicked the shuffling machine. Ugh. Just forget it. Yeah, whatever. Nice. Again, he's not small. He's not short enough that I can push him around quite yet. And the ace. Raisy daisy. To quote Sam Farha. Nice. I'm going to slow play this one. Let's see if he does anything. Oh! Oh, I'm so afraid. Oh, I have a queen and I'm so afraid. Come on. Oh, damn. Alright. What the hell? He's playing so tight, he wouldn't have even called the raise, I don't think. Interesting. This is a pure bluff. Pure bluff. A bluff and nothing but a bluff. But how far do I want to carry it? He's pot committed himself. $2,000, and it's to put him all in is going to be another $800. No, I think I can get away from that. This is a shame. I'm sorry to see those chips go. It's not really a good enough hand to raise. Damn. I can't call him all in with that. No, you can't do it. Not good enough. And I can't do it with that either. No. It's an inside straight draw, but no. I'm really looking for a big advantage here that I can take him out with. And right now, you know, I'm getting a bunch of hands in a row that just aren't good enough. I don't know why he showed the Queen Jack there. It's not like that changes my strategy all of a sudden. This is purgatory, you know, poker purgatory here, when you're waiting for two people to get a really good hand, and only one person at a time gets it, right? So we're just going to keep pushing the blinds back and forth for a little while until we both hit something that we can see a flop and connect with. He's wearing me down. Alright. You gonna bet? I'm gonna push him in. This is a check raise. If he's got a 10 or a 9, then so be it. And he's got a flush draw. And that's it. So there you go. First place. Thank you all for watching. I'd love to hear any comments that you have about how poorly I played this, or otherwise. You can reach me at my blog at kfu.com/tildensayer/blog, or the Nsayer channel on YouTube. And happy flops. Bye now.